to get to know you. Like my television, I'll remote control you. If you're lucky, I'll indulge you. Like my Gucci shades, you'll see what I could show you. Eroticy, so my ecstasy, my fantasy. Come marry me. Eroticy, synergy, she's my remedy. Come marry me. Touch my body like you know me. Touch my hand so I would know how you would hold me. You could be my one and only. Expeditious, so ambitious, I'm a trophy. Eroticy, so my ecstasy, my fantasy. Come marry me. Eroticy, synergy, she's my remedy. Come marry me.
Here we go again. It's time for another episode of those smack-talking guys. Full of opinions on games, music, culture, and current events. These guys cover it all while humiliating each other. This is Generation Flip. Don't forget, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And now, crapping it up, here's your hosts.
What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Season 2 on Generation Flip Podcast. Got a great show for you today, but first, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and that bell to let you know when we drop a new video. I'm Flip, and with me, the only dude I know that can still rock George Michael's moves, Big Brown himself. What's going down, Brown?
What's going on, everybody? We are excited for Season 2, kicking it in 22. Season 2, baby. We got a lot of good things coming up. We got some great shows. We got some great guests. I'm excited. I don't want to tell everybody too much about it, but I can tell you this. We have a special show today. Alaura Lovelight. Remember that name. You guys are going to hear her music. You're going to love what she does. Classical piano player. She's been playing since the age of 4. She's worked with Grammy award-winning producers and songwriters. She gives back to the community. She's doing a lot of fantastic things. I'm excited to get into the conversations with her and what got her started in all this. And then on our future shows coming up, we got another young lady. I mean, I am excited. We got girl power coming on our show, baby. And this gal is named Rose Thornberry. She is a Detroit product from the Motor City.
That's right.
And she is just amazing. I love her sultry voice. I can't wait to get her on the show. And then we're going to flip the script. We're going back to the crazy Albanian. This gal originally resided from New York City. Now she's in Austin, Texas. Can't wait to get her on the show. She's going to be another funny one. All our shows are going to be fantastic in 22. But without further ado, I say we bring out Alaura Lovelight and get this show started, baby.
Welcome, Miss Lovelight. How are you?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
here.
We're excited. This beat right here gets me going, man. I'm West Coast, but I'm like, I love that beat going on.
Great to have you on the show, really.
Yes, we're excited. You know, you're doing many things and a lot of good, exciting things. And tell us a little bit about how you started and how you got into music and really, you know, what really brings you to do the things that you do. We're very interested. We'd like to know.
I have been in music from a very, very early age. My mother is a phenomenal piano player, and so I kind of came into the world playing the piano.
Yeah! Was your parents all on you all the time to practice, practice, you know what I mean? That type of stuff? Or it's more like it was your nature of just, you know, getting there, flowing whenever you just enjoyed it so much you just went and done it without say.
Yeah. Quite the opposite. My mother would like beg me to like stop. Like,
Really?
okay, that's good. I would just practice. I would count my mistakes. That I was such like an anal kid about. I would count how many, and I'd be like, Mom, I only made 7 mistakes. And I would play it until I made 0. And she was
Right.
like, oh my God, if I hear Mary Had a Little Lamb all the time. Yeah. But,
Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
I played. I don't really ever remember being told like you need to practice. Never. Mm-mm.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
you know that's like they say. If you love what you're doing, it's like you'll never work a day in your life. If that's
true.
what you do.
It's
You
true.
know, I have an 11-year-old, and we shove her in front of the piano, and she takes lessons every
good.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Nice.
But it's the opposite of you.
Oh.
It's like-
She'll be doing this. Is it over yet? Is it over yet? You know, and I'm like, honey, you're gonna thank us for this. You know, and the only time I really seen her eyes light up is for Christmas one year, and she was probably, I don't know, 10, a couple years ago, and they said, hey, but she could play the Christmas songs very well. So in there's probably we're Mexican, we got big families, and there's probably 20 of us in the house, and she played 2 Christmas songs, and everybody was like in awe, and she's like, I love it, and it only lasted a week, and then after that she's like, do I have to do this again?
Right. Oh, it's work.
You know.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about this Eroticy video that you created. You produced it yourself?
Well, obviously the song came first. And I had co-written and co-produced the song with Ray Rothschild, who is formerly Sugar Ray of the Double X Posse.
Nice.
So people who are hip hop definitely should know who he is.
Right.
And we had written that together. And then the video came out of the song, and we ended up just kind of building the video around, you know, each verse, each chorus. We found some really great locations in New York to shoot the video. And yeah, it was so fun. I had a great team who helped with, you know, my makeup and my hair and getting me all put together. But no, even down to the stylist and down to the fashion and all of that, we did ourselves. So we put everything together, and then it came out It came out exactly how I wanted. So I'm very pleased with it.
That video says New York.
Yes.
It does.
You know what? People asked me, they were like, is that a green screen? I was like, no, it was really 2 a.m. in front of the skyline. 35 degrees outside.
Yeah, no, that was amazing video. Where I really got to appreciate New York is when we took a bus ride across the Brooklyn Bridge and then came back. And then where you're sitting in the glass and the city is behind you,
Yeah.
amazing, just amazing. So that was a fantastic video. I love the beat. I love the music. You look fantastic. I'm excited for you. I'm excited. This
I
is
am
gonna
too.
take off.
I am really, I really am. It's a really good
Yeah.
video, and man, what you guys go check that out. Really, I mean, it's amazing. I'm speechless right now. You know, I'm a little nervous having you on the show. If you can tell, I don't get like that, but I'm a little nervous having a woman like yourself. This is very nice. This is very beautiful. I like the video. I like the music. I want to go into a little more depth with other videos. Are you collaborating with somebody else now, or on a new project, perhaps?
We're working on the next single is what we're kind of focused on right now. So, you know, everybody's like, what's next? And I'm like, I don't know. Eroticy's like, it has its own life, and I'm loving it. But yeah, I'm excited that people are so excited about what's next. And so I'm like, well, give the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, that stuff comes organically. I love to see like behind the scenes and when people write music, because we don't know what goes into it on a day-to-day basis. We have no freaking clue. But when you look at, I mean, if you think about it, writing a song is like writing a poem.
Yeah.
The hardest part for me, though, is how do you find that right beat, or how do you find that right flow, right? And that's where the producers come in along with yourself, and you find the right beat, the flow. You know. Now let me ask you: you're more of an R&B artist?
Yeah. Jazz R&B is definitely my influence.
Jazz, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm such an old soul with music. Like jazz
Nice.
is definitely my favorite. But yeah, with the beat and everything, I actually had made the beat, and
Nice.
yeah, so we were working in a writing session, Ray and I, and he was like, asking, what do you have? What could you, do next? Blah, blah, blah. And it was something I had made a long time ago. And it was really something I made. It's kind of outside my genre. It's a little more clubby. It's a little more, but I actually just did it for practice for myself to see, like, can I make something different? And I was like, I kind of have this, just playing it, very nonchalantly. He's like, that's it. That's the next single. I was like, really?
It was right underneath you. You didn't even realize it, huh? When people, and that's what's important. It's catchy, right?
Yeah.
Once you get that dun dun dun,
Right.
dun, dun,
This guy.
you start feeling that, and it's funny because when I watch like Dr. Dre or I watch the West Coast guys, and they're in there and they're mixing the music, and they're all like,
Right.
You feel going, yeah, this is it,
Yeah.
And once you get that beat and you find it, then it just runs.
Do you ever get nervous on a stage with hundreds of people watching you? Do you ever get kind of like stage fright?
I would say yes and no. It's funny, like my team will tell me, like the day of a show, I'll be very like, this needs to be, very particular and very anal, and where's this, and is this said, and did this happen, and this, and I'm like, I'll always tell them, oh, I never feel like this, and they're like, you say that every time. But I always tell people, like, I think that, like, this, don't let nerves take over you, but I think having some kind of nervousness, like, means you care.
Right.
So I would say, yeah, absolutely. But it's not like a nervousness in a sense of I'm scared. It's a nervousness in the sense of like, oh, I really love this.
Well, because the only reason why I asked is because I'm looking at your bio and I noticed you performed over, hundreds of places here in the U.S. Just alone, and performed over 100,000 people on stages and stuff like that. So, I mean, for me, I mean, obviously I'm not a singer, but I mean, I would get very nervous being on stage, performing, you know what I mean? But you're a professional, you've been doing this for many years.
Takes practice.
You know what I mean? It takes practice. And so, hats off to you guys. Check this out, man. She's been all over. She's been with Grammy Award winning producers. She's been with #1 Billboard artists, performed, tons of videos, collaborated with other artists. I mean, that's off the hook. I mean, I got a hats down to you on that, really. So, moving on. You also, I saw a video of, it's called You Matter, and I think I showed it to Brown. I watched a little bit about it, and, not only that you perform, but you take the time out to go out and share your charisma, your energy with other the youth out there. Obviously, this video I saw had something to do with there was obviously a shooting. It's tragedy in the United States, all over the country, where there's shootings in school and stuff like that. And I saw there's a little it's kind of like a documentary clip on before the video starts, and I read it and I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome. You're giving back to the community, you know what I mean, and going back to the youth and the young kids and just helping out, and I really admire that. And I'm going to go ahead and play that to take a look at this, guys. This is awesome.
I've been beat down, left out, shook up. I've been run around, lost ground, out of luck. But I also know the weight it makes you stronger. And no worries, I done seen those brighter days. You never know who's listening. You never know the difference you can make. You might never know you're valuable. No matter what they tell you, you matter. I said no matter what they tell you, you matter. I've had my heart broke, the money's slow, and my body's out of control. I hated myself, needed help to find my way back to my soul. But I also know the story's gotta be told, it never gets old. Who's gonna be
we don't do enough of this,
We don't.
really.
We don't.
You know,
Yeah.
the way things are with COVID, the way things are with the world, actually, it's
Mhm.
tough to have two parents at home to raise a kid. And music like this lets them have a voice.
Yeah.
It makes them feel comfortable. Like, hey, yeah, I've been bullied. I've been picked on, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I always get emotional
Yeah.
when I watch that
Me
video
too.
because I forget like how powerful it was.
Yeah.
And like you get caught up in the views and in the do we look good and then the this and the that, and it's like, man, that's really why I do what I do. And
Right.
that video always brings me back. It's one of my favorite things I've ever done, still to this day.
Yeah.
And there was so much organic, authentic, like the video was not about me, it was about the kids. And I went to a middle school, a high school, a reintegration program, which was amazing, and a church with the church elders. I wanted to get every group and every demographic and everything I could in one video as much as possible. And it was amazing to me that I thought, oh, everybody has a different story and it will be so cool to tell everybody's story. But actually, it was quite the opposite. And you had these guys in this reintegration program, 1, 2, 6 months out of jail. And then you have these kids in, the community down the street. And this little third grader, his story about who bullied him or who hurt his feelings is the same as the guys in the program.
Wow.
And it was like, wow, it was so powerful. And everybody was so excited to be involved with it and make an impact. It was beautiful. It was a really beautiful
And where
project.
was this? This was down where in Florida? Or this
In Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Connecticut? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Flip does get nervous with
Elliot made you stop.
But it's all good. I mean,
you can't be getting nervous, man.
but
You got West Coast, baby.
Hey, you know what? We're about authenticity around here, so I appreciate your honesty.
to be honest
No,
with
I'm
you,
kidding.
it's amazing what you do to for the
Yeah.
community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Barely just meeting you today and watching your videos, you can tell the character that's behind, and you're behind a very good soul. So keep it up, keep doing what you're doing, and I hope that you bring more music to this young youth and to this generation, because nowadays this music generation is totally different from when I grew up. When
Oh man, you're telling me.
when this old man right here grew up, definitely from the 60s and
My
stuff.
Well, I was born in '68, dog. The '70s were my time.
So-
I'm an '80s cat. I like '80s. Well, but you got to understand one of the things that's important. That's not all she does,
Yeah.
right? She's already published books, Addicted to Success, motivational, inspirational, globally. I mean, she writes too.
Nice.
So she's well rounded, and that's amazing.
Right.
We don't want to forget that, because like we said, every song has a story,
Right.
right? And it says something, and it's just so important. It's a healing thing also.
Right.
So those are the things that are important to all of us.
Yeah.
I'm a music buff. I love everything. I really do. I can't get enough of the '80s, some of the '70s rock, but the '90s, but like the 2000, like now.
Well, let's ask her.
time to get
Let's
into it.
big boy. Let's ask her. What growing up, you're an R&B artist. Growing up, what type of music? And I'm
Yeah.
sure the audience want to know, what music did you listen to growing up?
Yeah, I am, like I said, I'm such an old soul. So like I'm like so Anita Baker, Whitney
Nice.
Houston, yeah, Sade, like
Yep.
Sade, nice, very nice,
Yeah.
very
so,
nice.
yeah, I love all of that old music. That's like when I cook, that's what I listen to, like Sade and Whitney Houston, Lauryn Hill,
Yep.
Jill Scott, all of that, and that's
Yeah.
still what I listen to.
I'm the same way. I
Like,
love
my
Jill
preference
Scott.
is that, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love Jill Scott. I love Anita Baker's one of my favorite singers.
Same.
But I go back a little, like Shalimar. I like to go back into some of the older stuff, the old, I love all that music. I could even jump into George Michael's. I love that dude's a
There you go.
fantastic singer.
This guy with George
I go
Michael, I'll
Prince.
tell you,
Oh,
don't
man.
get this guy
Careless
started on
Whisper.
George Michael because he's
Don't
just
give
a
me on
fanatic.
Careless Whisper. Give me the goddamn mic. I'll find the mic right now. I'll sing that song. But
So-
I just love all that music,
Yeah.
and it takes you back. It just takes me back to
Yeah.
what I was doing at that time. I think I mentioned on the show prior how music has been so influential in my life, and even to this day, if I take a shower, I'm popping music on.
There you go.
I got a little speaker. I got a little speaker, bought a little boom speaker deal. Put it on. I take a shower with music. I get up. I listen to music. It just puts me in the good mood. It's a good vibe,
Yeah.
And
I think that's
know.
what music is missing. I think that's why that stands the test of time, because it's like music nowadays is not based on connection. It's based
No.
on trend. It's based on, what's hot, what's hip, what's the beat, which is fine, but it's like those songs you'll listen to 30 years later because you feel connected to it.
right.
And that's my goal with my music,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
And we love it.
I'm
We love that
me
music.
myself. I'm like a Keith Sweat R&B. I love Keith Sweat.
Hey,
I mean,
take it easy, freaky D.
I'm just
down there, player.
I'm just that guy. Odyssey. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I grew up the '90s R&B. You know what I mean?
90s R&B.
Yeah, you
Nothing
can't.
like-
Nothing like that nowadays. You know what I mean? The rap is even different. Than the '90s rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not
I don't know.
knocking it, but I mean it's what it is.
I'll
you
knock
know?
it. I'll knock it. I can't handle it, man.
I'll go for 90s hip hop every day over what's up.
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
It was more of a boom bat, like they were really rhyming and really being
Right.
creative and clever, and like that's
Yeah.
what Ray contributed to Eroticy, is like his way that he writes is so clever, and it challenged my writing to be
Yeah.
like, how could we do that more slick? How could we be more creative? And I was like, ooh,
Right.
how about, so that was contributed to Eroticy for sure.
I love it. I really love it. You guys go check out Eroticy because it's on fire. I mean, it came out with a couple months ago. Is that when it came out? September, right?
September.
And it's doing well, guys. It's doing really well. And Alaura's she's like she said, she's been doing this for many years, 25 years. I'm
She's
looking
4.
at.
She's been 4 years old, baby. She's been hitting the ivories at 4.
Wow, much talent.
know?
You know what you remind me of? 2 people that you remind me of. You remind me of Alicia Keys.
Oh, I'll take that.
Okay, you do remind me of Alicia Keys, the piano. I saw that video, and kind of brought me back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, she's got that flavor. And Adele,
Yeah.
Adele.
Yeah, Adele.
very classy, very classy.
That's you.
Those two women
those
you
are
really
heavy
remind-
hitters. Those
Oh,
are
yeah.
heavy
Yeah.
hitters I would love to be in the company of.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
hear the falsetto and
Yeah.
everything when you were doing your matter. It's more, it kind of remind me of Adele right there, and then your other video remind me of Alicia Keys. So you got that. You can tell you grew up. You got an old soul. You can
Yeah,
tell
those are
right off the
major
bat.
influences of mine that I love those.
Wonderful.
Hey, Flip,
Very flattering.
did you say falsetto?
Yes.
That's the biggest word I've ever heard you say. Man.
Hey, my man, I do a little karaoke too, brother. I do a little karaoke too, brother.
Yeah,
okay,
you
so
do. That's right.
I'll.
My bad.
Hey, man, I
I
put
don't
it down
know- I
on
don't know
Keith
about
Sweat
falsetto.
songs, baby.
What?
Come on, guys. You know that's just hot.
That's that beat,
That's
baby.
hot. That's hot.
I like that.
Miss Lovelight here,
Yeah.
live with us. You know what I'm saying? That's hot. You know what? I can't. I wish you all the best in your success in music. I really do, and I hope to hear from you again. In our show. You know what I mean? You're more than welcome to come, and I hope that you share us on your social media as well.
Of
I mean,
course.
you know what I mean? So with that said, Brown, any last words?
I just can't wait. On the next single coming out, call us. We'll put you back on the
I
show.
will. Yeah.
And let's get it out there, girl. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you, everybody at home. You guys know the infamous Miss Lovelight here with Eroticy. Go check that out on her YouTube page. We'll drop that in the description for you guys, along with all her other music videos. Go check her out on social media, guys. Follow her, Instagram. You guys, much love out there, and thank you for supporting us.